Episode 87. We're on a 3-game winning streak, and everyone gets to stuff their face tomorrow for Thanksgiving. Sounds like a good few days.
Indeed. For my money, this is one of my favorite holidays coming up tomorrow. It's Thanksgiving Eve tonight. Obviously, the big game tomorrow. But yeah, great time of the year. A lot going on, and great food tomorrow.
You know it. Guys, welcome to another episode of the SoFLo Sports Show. It's your host, 305 Sports Wave, co-host Miami Lou, coming live to you from Miami. And we got a game tomorrow, right? Of course, it is the wonderful, beloved Thanksgiving, but it's also game day. Not often do we get a Thanksgiving Day game. Last year, we had the Black Friday game, which was a lot of fun. We ended up taking a victory at MetLife. We were there, and we had a great time.
We were.
But this year, we have primetime, 8:20, on NBC at Lambeau Field. Our Dolphins take on the Green Bay Packers.
That's right. And we were, as you mentioned, we were there for the inaugural Black Friday game against the Jets. A sound beating. Funny enough, this quarterback that started that game, Tim Boyle, has been the quarterback of record for a couple of our games this year, which is crazy to even think. He threw that Hail Mary pass at the end of the half to Javon Holland, who ran it back the distance. So just insane how that all worked out. And but no, look, it's a huge game for the Dolphins. We'll get into it all in a little bit here. We're obviously going to recap last Sunday's game, which is just a couple of days ago at this point. You pretty much got 2 games in 4 days, and it's Thanksgiving. Come on, it's awesome. Thanksgiving Eve. I almost dressed up as a pilgrim today, but I thought better of it. You would have had to have been an Indian, which would have been controversial to say the least. Native American, yes, but yeah, so I thought better of it, and I decided not to dress up as a pilgrim for tonight's show.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, so,
and you are welcome as well.
Yeah, so we're coming off a short week. Dolphins obviously had the game on Sunday against the New England Patriots, and we all know how that turned out. Honestly, it was the best game we played all season. It was just comfortable in the sense that it was comfortable from the beginning. We had the lead. We kept the lead. We built up on the lead, and we won. And it hasn't been like that. So it wasn't a nail-biter. Tua looked great. In fact, he was just named a little bit ago the AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Saw that. That's awesome.
Very well deserving. And we had some standout players. Jonas Smith just really stamped it, marked it. Like he's been doing that. If he wasn't a name before, he is a name now. And just another weapon that Tua has on in the back burner. Yeah,
no, he's been doing his thing. And what more can you say about Tua? I mean, he had another great game, 319 yards, 317, 4 touchdowns. He was pretty much perfect. He actually had to come back into the game. I don't want to really revisit it.
Skyler just,
Yeah. No, but look, it was a total domination. The score is not indicative of how big the Dolphins were winning that game. They were up. First quarter, nothing happened, but then 24 points in the second quarter. 24-0 at the half.
Yep.
They put on another touchdown in the third quarter.
Sanders was perfect.
31-0 going into the fourth. And then all of a sudden, Skyler decides to give an early Christmas present to the Patriots. And, he obviously, man, Skyler, it's not, he can't be on a roster at this point. He's proven he's been here for 3 years, and the guy can't even come in to clean up a game and take a couple knees, make a couple handoffs. So that was very disturbing to see. But So
that's a good point, because obviously we know Tua's track record hasn't been the most healthy. So the Dolphins have had to have mentally a solid quarterback who should be able to be a QB1 on command. And Skyler's not that guy.
He's not.
And so it makes you wonder, not that I'm saying the grass isn't always greener on the other side, but somebody like Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. He actually just signed moments ago with the Minnesota Vikings. Who, he said his preference was to go to a playoff team. And look, the Vikings are right now with a 9-2 record, and they got Sam Darnold, the former Jet, at quarterback right now. And so that's a good opportunity for him. But, I wanted him to come here because you mentioned Skyler hasn't been able to do it. Tyler Huntley didn't look good doing it. Obviously, Tim Boyle was horrific doing it. So you needed somebody, and the guy was Mike White. Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. They made a mistake by not keeping Mike White as the backup quarterback. Not to say that he would have, saved the season or saved the games while Tua was out, but he certainly would have done a lot better than what the three guys that I just mentioned did in Huntley, Thompson, and Boyle. So that was the first mistake, is not keeping Mike White. And then it would have been nice if Daniel Jones had fallen to us here, and we would have been able to sign him to have a little bit of security.
Yeah, but let's just hope that Tua stays healthy. We don't have to think about QB 2, 3, 4, and we just stick to QB 1. Flipping sides on the defense. The defense was a force to be reckoned with. Chop freaking Robinson. Put credit where credit is due. That man is a beast. He is such a force to be reckoned with. And there's a lot more coming from him.
Yeah, no doubt. He didn't start that way. He started a little slow, but you're a rookie. You expect to do that. But he's definitely coming on as of late. He had a sack and a half. He got credited for half a sack in this past game against the Patriots. So he had a full sack by himself, and then he shared a sack with Agba. Yeah. Jalen Ramsey got in the action. He had a sack. Zach Zeeler had a sack. And then how about Tyrell Dodson, who just came over from the Seahawks? He was waived by the Seahawks, came over to us, and he had a big interception. Anthony Walker went down as one of our linebackers. And he will
not be playing tomorrow, as you know.
He won't be playing. Anthony Walker Jr. is banged up, but good thing that we were able to get Dodson from Seattle, and he made immediate dividends by picking off Drake May, and so that was great to see.
And a player that we did not talk about yet on offense, who just waddled his way. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jalen Waddle! What a game. Dude, he's been kind of like in a hiatus. Like, we know what he's capable of, but he really hasn't given it to us this season. Maybe he just hasn't had the opportunity. But how he played on Sunday, it's like we've been waiting for it. And then he just gave it all. It was just amazing to see. It was
no doubt
fantastic.
144 yards, 8 receptions, and the touchdown. You notice he didn't do the waddle, and he actually was asked about it in the press conference because he scored the previous week as well. In St. Louis, against the Raiders, and they asked him, "Hey, how come there's no waddle celebration?" And he answered back. He said, "Look, I'm kind of giving it a break." Talking about being a hiatus, he said, "I'm giving it a break for the minute," because he says that he can't go anywhere around town without people asking him to do the waddle. So he says he's putting it on the back burner for now. But hey, if he's scoring touchdowns, I don't care what kind of dance he does. Just keep throwing the ball and keep getting him in the end zone.
We have some great celebrations, like the chop is amazing.
Yeah, chop is awesome.
I mean, we definitely take our celebrations to a next level. But no, it was a great game. I tweeted that the only thing that I really, really would have really made it a sweet, sweet victory is seeing Mr. Bill Belichick's face on the sideline. Because if they played the way they played with Bill coaching, could you imagine the different looks on his face? Like, it would have been a meme galore. It would have been the mad. It would have been the freaking out. It would have been the yelling. And granted, obviously there are plenty of teams that could use his talents, aka Dallas right now. But that would have been really sweet to not only, beat one of our nemesis in the AFC East, but to see the looks on his faces that we've seen throughout the years. Would have been great, but we know Tua plays great against the Patriots. That's one team that he
and the Jets. He's undefeated against both the Patriots and the Jets. He never lost to Bill Belichick. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Belichick, you mentioned, didn't get brought back as the New England Patriot coach. So he never lost to Belichick. Yeah. He's undefeated against both the Jets and the Patriots. And hey, that bodes well because 2 of the remaining games left are against those Jets. Yeah. And so we'll see how Tua does. I do want to mention again, the defense can't speak about them highly enough. What Anthony Weaver's doing, really controlled Drake May. Drake May's been, having a successful year. 9 touchdowns thrown, 2,000 plus yards. He's rushed for over 400 yards. He didn't rush for many yards this game. He only rushed for about 26, and he only threw for 222 yards. He did throw for a touchdown, but it was kind of a gift touchdown on 4th down. The previous play to him throwing that touchdown, he should have had a fumble. The league once again enacted the Brady Tuck rule, and they ruled that he was in the motion of throwing the ball as it was knocked out of his hand, but it was a fumble. So he got lucky he didn't get charged with that fumble, and then he throws that again irrelevant touchdown is what I'm going to call it. Touchdown kind of in garbage time when you're down 31-0. So they really controlled Drake May, a kid that, as mentioned, has been playing well, and look, he's going to be a factor. I mean, he's played well enough where that he's going to be long-term quarterback for them. And so it's good that his first opportunity against us didn't go in his favor, and we were able to control the game by controlling him.
No, definitely. And with this winning against the Patriots, we sweep them for the season. So we put that chapter
did it last year as well. Yeah.
And so on to the next. And obviously we know we didn't have the same luck with the Bills. We've taken 2 losses against the Bills this year. So swept one set of them. Another set swept us, and hopefully we can do another sweep with the Jets. We play them twice. We play them not this week, next week, and then we play them late in the season, last game of the season in late December, early January. But yeah, so we ended up victorious on Sunday. Always great to see, and a lot of talk around how Tua played, which is always good for the goose, which is good for the gander. Coach had a great press conference after the game, brought his daughter in, so it was all fun and dandy, which he actually mentioned something that he asked every game. He asked his daughter, "Hey, do you think we're gonna win?" And she said sometimes like no. And then, she's a straight shooter, so I thought that was really cute. Not cute because obviously you don't want the kid to say we're gonna lose. Right. But she has called pretty much almost every game to the team.
Wow, look at that. Okay.
Definitely. So moving forward, we play tomorrow night. We have the Thanksgiving primetime game at night. We play 8:20 on NBC. Against the Green Bay Packers. Dolphins head to Lambeau Field. There's a lot of interesting things about this game. One of them, straight off the bat, we wear throwbacks.
Yeah.
Which we love wearing our throwbacks.
Love it.
But in this case scenario, it's a little catch going on here. The problem with that is that we're wearing the throwbacks, which obviously are beautiful and everything, but it's going to be snowing.
Right.
So when it's here in Miami and beautiful and they're very sexy jerseys, but now you're taking the throwbacks and you're putting it in 25-degree weather and snow. Well,
a lot of people, it's going to be the all white. Normally we've been wearing the aqua over the white pants, but we're wearing obviously the prototypical throwback helmet, which is always white, and we're going to wear the white on white. So in the snow, that we might be camouflaged. It might bode well for us. It might be an advantage to be playing.
Out there.
Yeah,
and not Javon.
I don't know if snow is projected. I know that it's going to be in the 20s. It is. So all right. Yeah, so look, maybe we hide behind that snow, and we're able to maneuver our way against that offense.
Yeah. So with this game, we already know Anthony Walker Jr. is out.
Right.
One that
Kendall Fuller's been out. We know that already.
Yes. Teron Armstead. Dude, man, it's honestly
he's not out, by the way.
It's questionable.
He's questionable.
But it's a flip of the coin because with this guy, it's every week. We don't know if we're gonna have I know. Sorry, I just threw my bobby pins. I'm just like whatever. He's questionable, right? And this guy protects Tua, his left side. Like you need him to guard Tua's life, and for him to be going into these games every week. Questionable. Is he playing?
Yeah,
it's not dependable.
I'm used to it at this point. It just surprised
because
he wasn't on the injury report, so that kind of threw us for a loop. But again, this is already we're used to him coming up, and he picks and chooses when he can be of service to us. And something might have happened that we don't know, but no, I think he's going to play. I don't think it's be an issue. The good thing is that Isaiah Wynn was activated off the IR, so he's going to come back. So it's more depth on the O-line. He's not going to start. They've already announced, but he's ready to go and can be plugged into either tackle or guard. He's primarily a guard, but he'll be ready to go, and it's a good reassurance for that O-line.
Yeah, well, we know Vegas has Packers favored by 3.5, which you kind of figured that going into this game. We know.
I thought it'd be more, to be honest with you. It's a Thanksgiving Day. It's at Lambeau Field. We do know a lot of people that are going. There are going to be a lot of Dolphin fans out there, so that's going to be great. That they're going to spend the holiday out there, and so we're going to have some good representation. But still, it's it's a home game at historic Lambeau Field on a holiday, and so I thought it'd be a little more, to be honest with you. They completely destroyed the 49ers this past Sunday.
But the 49ers are its own story.
Brock Purdy didn't play. They had their backup quarterback in there who really hasn't seen any action in the last couple of years. So that was, kind of expected. But 38-10 is still a thrashing. Jordan Love didn't even do much in the game because, their running back was pretty much taking over. He had 3 touchdowns, and Josh Jacobs. They pretty much established the run. They dominated the run. They were able to get up ahead often and early on the 49ers. And, them being at home and not traveling from somewhere else like we're coming from, I think bodes advantageous for them. And I thought it'd be more than 3.5, to be honest with you.
And also, I would be remiss if I didn't say the narrative speaks that the Dolphins. What do they say? You can finish my sentence. The Dolphins what?
They
do not play. Well, okay, two things. I get you're going with that. Okay, so you're gonna take two narratives. I was gonna stick to one, but you're gonna have both. They say Dolphins do not play well in cold weather, but stereotypically, but not even stereotypically, factually, we don't. And number two, the Dolphins have not really performed well against good teams. So this is going to be a test. So you actually take two narratives. I didn't want to go.
By the way, I hate the word narratives. I got to tell you, I hate that word.
Okay.
I just don't like it.
We'll
but I did like how
close.
Tua said, I like to kill narratives.
Well,
I
said it.
I like to kill narratives too. I just don't like the word. So whatever.
Okay.
But hopefully, yes, there is. I don't want to say that word. So I'll just say that, there's been, it's a monkey.
Track record.
It's a monkey on our back that we can't get this monkey off our back, that we cannot win in the cold, and as you mentioned, against good teams. So here's a perfect opportunity in front of the nation. Yep. Let's be real. The two games that are taking place on Thursday, they're not good games. You're talking about the Bears and Lions. The Lions have been steamrolling the competition. Yeah. The Bears have not looked good, so that's going to be a dumpster fire of the game. And then you got the Giants and the Cowboys. I mean, the Giants are an awful team going in completely the opposite direction. The Cowboys are coming off a win against Washington, a crazy game that was.
There were so many crazy games. But Carolina beat Kansas City. There's a lot of craziness.
But again, those are not going to be good games. The Lions should handle the Bears easy, and the Cowboys should destroy the Giants. Yeah. So, people are going to be watching football, but not watching good football. And then on Thursday night, the main event, Packers-Dolphins, so I love it. I love the fact that we're going to be on prime time and have the opportunity, as you mentioned, to win in the cold and beat a good team.
However, you mentioned the Cowboys and Giants, and I got to tell you, super excited about that halftime show. We know that the Cowboys always put on a great
Shabuzi is going to be out there.
No, it's not.
Oh, no. Who is it?
Shabuzi's not that one.
So he's doing the Lions.
The first one.
Okay. Sorry. So who's doing the halftime for the Cowboys Giants?
You really don't know?
No, I don't.
I told you this.
Who is it?
Okay, I'm going to give you a clue.
Okay.
Look at my pants.
What?
Look at my pants.
Who
would wear pants like this?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
You did not tell me this.
Lainey Wilson.
Oh, Lainey Wilson. Okay. Oh, great. There you go. So, big Lainey Wilson fans. I should have known that.
Definitely. I'm really excited to see her performance. Awesome. So that'd be cool. Shabuzi's the early one. So if anything, if you're like really not feeling the first two games, which most of America is not, there's gonna be some great halftime shows.
There is. So if you can't, as you're going for your second and third plate, in my case maybe a fourth and fifth plate of Thanksgiving Day leftovers, go ahead and check out these halftime shows, because I think they will they will be better than the game. They're going to be better than the game. Guarantee you that.
Really, really great. So yeah,
it's a 3.5 point line. You want to go first? I go first. You want to? What do you think?
Man, so last week we were both kind of close with our prediction.
Right.
And pretty much everybody was, except one person who said that we were going to score 70, but they kind of.
No, it's at 60. It's at 60.
So we were kind of on the projectile of going for there, but we kind of.
Trajectory, not projectile. Projectile is something you throw. You correct me all the time, so I got to correct you on that.
Projectile.
Yeah, that is not projectile. Is something you throw, or an object that's whatever. So
trajectory. We're on that trend of possibly
trends, fine too.
Running the score. So I don't think we're gonna have a high-scoring game like we did last week. I don't see it, especially if there is snow on the ground or even falling from the sky. It's gonna be cold. I think our defense, if they put on a show like they have been, I think it'll also be a low scoring on Green Bay's end as well. Right. So I could see 17-10 Dolphins.
17-10. Wow. So you're saying low scoring game. Okay. Yeah. Well, look, I predicted the last 2 weeks that we were going to score 40, and they got close, but it didn't quite do that. I am not going to say we're going to score 40 this week, but I'm going to predict a shootout. I am going to predict a high scoring game on both ends. I know it's going to be in the snow, but I think that we're going to throw the ball a lot. They like to run the ball. They ran the ball heavily against the 49ers, but I don't think they're going to be able to do that to us. I think that they're going to also throw the ball. And because of the element of snow in there, I think there's going to be some turnovers on both ends.
For sure.
On both ends. I think it's going to be a shootout, though. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. And
I don't see it.
Just because I want this so bad, and we need to get back to 500, I am going to say Dolphins 34, Packers 31. I got a 34-31 Packers loss. I think the Dolphins are going to edge this out by a field goal in a high-scoring affair.
I'm with you with the Dolphins winning. I don't even see Sanders going perfect. I feel like, when you go perfect. Three back, you go three sideways, and then you're going that back in the snow. That's not easy.
You don't need to be perfect. He's got to make his kicks when it counts. And, and so I'm predicting him to win, not necessarily by a field goal.
Yeah.
I know it said 3 points, but I think it could be somewhere where they got the lead 31-27, and it's going to be Tua's opportunity to, get a last-minute drive together and win the game. And so I'm going to predict a game in the 30s with the Dolphins edging it out at the end. Well, that's what I got, and I'm sticking to it.
Shall see it.
Yep.
It would be a great early birthday present for you. So
it would be. Yes, absolutely.
Fantastic.
I will take that all day. And you know what? It's not just that. It's payback. We did I put it away here?
So what's our track record in Lambeau? I know we go there in 2 years, and we do plan on going to that.
Yes.
But a lot of these games falls on holidays. We're speaking of before you get into that.
Yeah.
We've gone to the Black Friday game. We did the Christmas Day game, or the day after Christmas in New Orleans.
Yep.
So we've put our fair share in citizen holidays.
Well, and I forgot to mention this, but I'll mention this. This is another reason why I'm picking it, because it's payback time. It's payback time, baby. Uh-huh. So Dolphins, Packers all time. The series, obviously, with them not being in the same conference, they don't play all the time. They just met 16 times, and obviously never in the playoffs, or in this case, the Super Bowl. But 10-6 is the all-time record, with the Dolphins leading that 10-6. However, the Packers have won the last 3 games, including 2 years ago. You mentioned holidays. Well, we were at that game as well.
Christmas Day one.
Christmas Day game. So the Packers came in and ruined our Christmas. We ended up losing that game 26-20, and we lost more than that. We lost Tua for the remainder of the year.
Yeah.
I don't want to say how, but by now you could figure out what went wrong with Tua in that game, but he didn't make another start that whole season. So the Packers, it's really ruined our season. They beat us on Christmas Day, and they knocked out our quarterback. We still made the playoffs, but we lost to the Buffalo Bills in the wild card round. So the Packers, ruined Christmas for us. And so I'd like to ruin Thanksgiving for them and really give them a stuffing up the what. And that's why I'm predicting us to do that to them in a national audience tomorrow.
I forgot about that game. That was a game where we left, and then the thing is, it was like a 4 o'clock game, right?
It was a 4 o'clock game, correct? And it was a
prime time.
Yeah, it was well, not prime time. It was 4 o'clock game, but it was on Christmas Day.
And then we left, and the thing is, we didn't have food at the house, and we were so hungry. We were mad that the Dolphins lost, and we kept circling around looking for a restaurant.
Everything was closed.
And we settled for this restaurant. It was terrible. Oh, that was a bad day. It was crazy. All right, so
let me recap last week. So last week, obviously, the Broncos won, which did not help our cause. The Colts lost. That was good. They lost to the Lions, so that was nice help for Detroit. And then on Monday night, just a couple nights ago, the Ravens did beat the Chargers. So where we sit now, the Baltimore Ravens are 8-4 in 5th place. The LA Chargers, with the loss, are 7-4 in 6th place. And the Denver Broncos, as mentioned, they won, so they're 7-5. But with the Colts loss, we jumped them momentarily because, as we all know, they own the tiebreaker against us. So we're in 8th at 5-6, and the Colts are right behind us at 5-7 in 9th place. So, we got some work to do. We need to be rooting for some results to help us out and go in our favor this week. And a couple of them I'll mention really quick. The Chargers on Sunday are playing the Falcons. So Falcons could help us out by beating those Chargers in case it comes down to us and them. Same thing with the Steelers and the Bengals. At this point, the Steelers and the Ravens are fighting for the NFC North, but one of those teams will be in the wild card mix. So whether it's the Steelers or the Ravens, we need one of those to fall back to the pack, to fall back to us. Colts and Patriots are playing each other. As I just mentioned, the Colts do have the tiebreaker.
That'll be an interesting game.
Yeah, it will. 2 young quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson finally got his job back over Joe Flacco. So you got Richardson and Drake May going at it. That should be a good game. Hate to say it, hate to do it, but we want to root for New England in this game, just so the Colts could, they could have one more loss than us, and that way we don't have to worry about that tiebreaker. And then we mentioned the AFC North. So the Eagles, who are on a roll right now, they destroyed the Rams on Monday Night Football. Saquon Barkley, I mean, I think he's still running. He might have been running back to Philadelphia because he could not be stopped on Sunday. 255 yards. I mean, he was a man on a mission on Monday Night Football.
That's like a total yardage that one team gets in like a whole game by himself.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, he was insane. And right now, as a lot of people are lauding him as the NFL MVP, and who's going to argue that the way he's playing? So no doubt. But so the Eagles are playing at the Ravens, and with the Ravens, winning this past Monday night and being at 8-4, why not give them a loss and put them at 5 losses? And again, closer to us. Same thing with the Monday Night Football game. This is a big one. The Broncos will be hosting the Browns, so that's going to be tough for the Browns in Denver to win. And the Broncos, credit to them, they're playing good football, but we'll be rooting for the Browns in that game for sure.
Definitely. And recapping the rest of our schedule, obviously we have the game against Green Bay tomorrow in Lambeau. Then next week, the Jets come to town Sunday, 1 o'clock. Then after that, Dolphins and us, we head to NRG Stadium in Houston.
Yep.
After that, the 49ers come to town December 22nd, which will be a very, very interesting matchup with their non-impressive year. Followed that week, we have Cleveland. We head to Ohio.
Yep.
And then we finish out the season in MetLife against the Jets. So that's what we have. It's crazy that I know it by heart. I know their schedule better than my own life schedule.
We see it every day. You mentioned that Cleveland game. That's tentatively scheduled right now for Sunday Night Football. But it looks like it's going to be flexed out of prime time because it's scheduled for Sunday Night Football. But if the Browns lose on Monday, you got 3 wins. I don't see them being on primetime football. So we'll see how that works out. You mentioned we're playing the Jets twice, and I do want to mention something that happened this past week. 2 things that happened with the Jets this week, which they're a dumpster fire of a franchise right now. Number one, Aaron Rodgers came out and pretty much said that he's not sure if he's going to come back next year, but if he does, he wants it to be in New York. I don't know if he means the Jets or the Giants, but he's saying that he wants to come back and play in New York. I don't know who would want him back the way he's been playing. Even the owner said that he wanted him benched at some point during the season. So, I just want to keep seeing them deteriorate because that's what's happening right now. And then if that wasn't strange and weird enough, they also hired Mike Tannenbaum, who was a personality on ESPN and a former GM for the Dolphins, as a matter of fact. He ruined us. He was famous for having horrific draft picks, and obviously one of the reasons why we haven't won a playoff game, no thanks to him. So he was also the general manager for the Jets. So it's very strange that they're hiring this guy to help them, pick their next head coach and their next general manager when he himself was a general manager for them and for us as the Dolphins, and he didn't do anything. The Jets haven't won a playoff game in 13 years. I know we haven't won it a lot longer.
24 years.
Right.
Double.
But what's the common theme in both those teams? Is Mike Tannenbaum. He was the GM for them, the GM for us. Both those teams have not been to the playoffs. So why would you hire this guy to pick your next head coach or general manager? What on earth do they think or see that he's going to do when he's done anything but that? And as a matter of fact, when he's an analyst on ESPN, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah. He mostly, all his picks are wrong. So I'm just sitting back here and laughing and welcoming him making whoever he picks for their GM and their coach, because I know that he's not going to do anything good. So I'm all for it. I'm here for it.
You know what they say?
What?
Not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah, there you go. It's definitely a circus, and I will sit back and eat my popcorn and watch it all day. So,
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So let's talk about around other South Florida sports. Not too great, right? It's usually not. We usually don't say that because obviously we've been spoiled with our Florida Panthers being so hot, but they decided they want to take a break on the toilet.
Yeah.
And the Heat just aren't heating up. No. Right? We don't have excuses. I guess the only excuse someone could say is that we didn't pick up that big name off season that we wanted to, like a Damian Lillard, like a Giannis. Maybe they were never going to.
Not available, yet.
But the plot was that we were hoping to get like a big name in the off season, but that doesn't say we couldn't, make do of what we had. We have a great team on roster. Our rookies are great. Your boy from Arizona, Larson, is doing fantastic.
Yes.
Jaime Hockey. So a lot of these young, I say young bucks, but I don't want to say bucks after last night. These young kids are stepping up. We're just not winning games, right? We're not playing bad basketball. We're just not winning games.
Well, no, they're not playing good. They're not playing good basketball. They're not playing terrible, but they're not playing good basketball.
Yeah.
You know, they're 7-8 right now. They're the 6th seed in the East, which way too early to get to the conference standings. But you're 7-8. That tells you all you need to know. And they're losing games at home. You know, they beat the Mavericks on Sunday night, but Luka Doncic didn't play. So did you really win that game?
But did you really think we were going to win last night against the Bucks? Okay, Giannis did not play.
What do you mean did I think? Of course I thought we were going to win. Giannis didn't play and Chris Middleton didn't play. They didn't have 2 of their top 3 players. I thought that I would have penciled that in as a win.
Do you kind of see a trend with that?
Thank goodness I didn't go on the Hard Rock app and bet that game because I would have bet it all day.
We do not condone betting.
And they were down by 22 points. Yeah. They never led in the game the whole way.
But they came back.
They came back, but they never led in a game without their best player. Dame Lillard played, that's great, but Giannis is their best player. He didn't play, sat out. And their third best player, Chris Middleton, didn't play either. So the fact that they lose a game that, we were completely healthy. You know, at home, you give that game away, it tells you what the season's been, which has been an average team. They're not good, they're not bad, they're average.
About the Bucks.
Sure.
Every time the Bucks come here, I feel like Giannis never plays.
That's true. Yeah, even in the playoffs, he's missed 2 series. He's missed games in the playoffs, including 2 years ago when we made our run to the finals.
Yeah,
he missed the entire. Well, he played the first game and he missed the remaining of that series that we ended up winning in 5 games. Knocked him out as the first seed. We were the 8th seed, so that was obviously a huge deal.
Play. When he comes here, he just doesn't play. I think he takes advantage of the extracurriculars and puts in his PTO when he's here.
Maybe
just doesn't play.
Maybe he calls it a beach day. I mean, he's definitely not hitting up the Greek restaurants because we don't have like a Greek town or anything like.
We have that one on Coral Way on the corner.
That's the only one I can think about.
That's the only one. That's even a stretch.
Yeah.
But Giannis is not. I'm very open. Giannis is my favorite non-Heat player in the league. I love the guy. But just for some reason, when he comes to town, he just doesn't play. So our next game is Friday.
Yep.
Right? Friday.
Well, no, they're playing tonight. They're tipping off tonight shortly over in Charlotte.
Our next home game is Friday.
So they're playing in Charlotte, and then we're playing at home against the Raptors on Friday night.
Yeah,
so
and the Panthers are not looking good. I know that tonight they play against Toronto.
Yeah.
And our first place is just kind of dwindling down, and I don't know what's happening. Devils took 2 from us the other week, and it's just not.
They're struggling right now. They've lost 4 in a row, and they've dropped down from first to second place. They're 12-9 now in the year. They're playing, as you mentioned, Toronto tonight, who's actually in front of us in first place. They've jumped us since we last did a show. So, but hey, you're at home tonight against those Maple Leafs. And so hopefully they can reclaim first place. So we'll see how it goes.
But you got a lot of hockey left, got a lot of basketball left. We're just here. We're just reporting stats here. But we're just saying how it is. It's just not pretty right now.
Right. No doubt. The biggest one, though, that we need to focus, maybe bigger even than the Dolphins, because literally it's season on the line right now, is for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
The U had coming off the loss previously to Georgia Tech. They had a great second half. First half was a little skeptical there against Wake Forest, but they pulled away in the second half, ended up winning the game handily by 27 points.
Thank goodness. Senior night too.
Yeah, it was senior day out of the Hard Rock.
Senior day, yeah.
So, but that was huge. So a big win against Wake Forest. But now it comes down to this. This Saturday, 3:30 p.m. in Syracuse in the Carrier Dome.
A little cold.
Against the Orange. No, it's dome.
It's a little cold in Syracuse.
It's cold in Syracuse, but they're playing under the roof there. So, but look, this is a must-win game. They have not clinched a spot in the ACC championship game. SMU has, and we need to win this game Saturday to have a chance to play against SMU in Charlotte. So you're going up against Syracuse. They're unranked, but they're 8-3, and
nothing to lose.
They are a team right now. They are an explosive team, which has been a problem for the Hurricanes. You saw what happened against Georgia Tech. Yeah. They could not stop them running the ball. Syracuse, with their quarterback Cal McCord, is 60 yards away from throwing 4,000 yards on the year, which is a big deal in college football because they don't play 17 games. They play about 10 to 12 games a year. So when a kid throws 4,000 yards in a season in a 10 to 12 game span, you do the average, it's almost 400 yards a game that he's throwing. So they're going to have to be prepared for that because they've been known to give it the big play. They did it against Cal, Virginia Tech, Duke. So they can't mess around here against an offense that's explosive. So they got to take care of business. They're favored by 12 points. So hopefully the Hurricanes can get a big win in upstate New York and lock themselves into the championship game in Charlotte.
Yeah, got to take care of business. So there's huge games this week. Obviously, we start with one tomorrow, Dolphins in Green Bay. 8:20 is kickoff on NBC, and our Canes play on Saturday, and then do it again next week.
Yep, that's right. Well, thankfully, the Dolphins will have a big break before their next game against the Jets. They won't play again until December the 8th. So that's a big relief. But it's going to feel a lot better if they're able to pull this thing out tomorrow. You mentioned, haven't been able to win in cold weather, haven't been able to win against tough, tested teams. So this will be a big opportunity for them to do them. I'm not going to say it's must win. We both predicted them to win, but I don't want to say it's must win. And the reason why is this. It's a non-conference game. So at the end of the year, you're going to, when the season's over, you're going to look at if the AFC keeps getting jumbled up, you're going to look at the conference record for the deciding factor. And fact is, this is not a conference game. So it doesn't count twice like a game against Houston or the Jets or Cleveland's going to count for. But you still got to win these games. I mean, it's going to go a lot for our confidence. I see the path. Right now we got the 6 losses. Obviously, you finish 11-6, you win out, you're in. You're going to get in because that's a hell of a record.
But that's a hell of a long way to keep winning too.
No doubt. And so there's still a path there at 10-7. But again, I think that 7th loss would have to come at the hands of an NFC team. And there's only 2 left. Tomorrow night against the Packers and home against the 49ers. Yeah. We hope we don't lose any more games. But that's your path. You don't want to give any extra ground to the Broncos or the Colts or teams that we could possibly be lumped in there with.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Got to do it. Got to take care of business. I have a little different mentality. I think I go into every game think it's must win because you can't be even content even on the littlest string. And to me, you got to do it.
Brent saying over under that game is 67.5. I mean,
heavens.
I could see it. I mean, Cam Ward is already throwing for 4,000 yards. And as mentioned, their quarterback is about to do it as well. So that's going to be a high-scoring affair. And it's in a dome on turf. I mean, that's got 67.5 all over it. So I'm not surprised by that total at all.
Definitely. Switching gears, we mentioned that the Dolphins go to Houston in 3 weeks. So if you guys have not heard yet, or you guys know, we have a whole Fantasia trip going to Houston. We are completely sold out of game tickets, completely sold out of hotels. But we still have room for the Fins Fan Social. We did that in Indy in a few weeks at the Brothers Bar and Grill. We had an amazing time.
Yeah.
Pretty much doing the same thing in Houston at the Drift Bar from 2 to 4 p.m. on Saturday. Really excited about this event because not only am I hosting the event, but a very,
you're co-hosting. We got the guest of honor.
I said not only am I hosting it,
yes,
but we have somebody else who's going to be joining me, somebody even cooler than me. So
cooler than you?
Yeah, I know.
Who could that be?
Okay. Well, here it is. You're reading it right. 2 to 4 p.m. Saturday, December 14th. Myself and future NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee, soon to be.
Yes, gold jacket wearer.
The amazing, the awesome Richmond Webb.
The one and only, number 78.
Joining us. So, guys, it is a ticketed event. You must have a ticket. It is $40, which includes 2 drink tickets, a door prize, a wristband, and more, because you're going to get more of that. And you get to hang out with us and Richmond Webb and Dolphin fans from around the world. So please get your ticket now. We have way over 100 people already signed up. Go on our website, 305sportstravel.com. You go to secure your ticket, and you could find it there. Yeah. So definitely something you want to be a part of. There's also the Houston Fan Club is hosting an event that night. And also they're having a tailgate. So all the information can be found online.
Yep.
But definitely there's no reason to go to Houston and not meet up with Fins fans, because it's going to be a Finvasion takeover and a win at NRG Stadium.
Absolutely. And also because we will be in Houston.
Yeah.
Houston is the site of the last Dolphins Super Bowl win.
Gross.
In 1974, a long time ago, 50 years ago to be exact. Not that we're counting the years, but so we are going to have a tour of that venue, Rice Stadium, where the Dolphins won their last Super Bowl. We're going to actually be able to go inside the. Well, I don't want to give away the secrets, but we're gonna have a good time. Stay tuned. We'll have more on that coming up. But when in Houston, right? Why not check out where a big piece of our history was won?
Yeah, and I've never been to Houston. You've never been to Houston.
That's right.
I've been to Dallas. I've been to Fort Worth. So really excited to go to Houston and check it out. There's so much that I really want to see and do, but we're so limited. But you'll see Lou's pictures on social media.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll get it all. We'll fit it all in.
It's funny. I just mentioned that. I just remembered the state of Texas has been very good to Miami sports. The Miami Heat won their first ever championship there against the Mavericks in 2006.
Yeah.
The Hurricanes won a big Cotton Bowl back in the day that was a big for us. And mentioned Dolphins won their second back-to-back Super Bowls in Houston. So. State of Texas has been very good to Miami teams.
And the food there is amazing. I know you love your brisket. I'm a big sucker for the Texas toast grilled cheese. So we're probably gonna, if you don't gain 10 pounds tomorrow, I'll definitely gain it in Houston.
Exactly. Don't forget to turn your scales back tomorrow so you can enjoy your Thanksgiving food. I know it's not your favorite, but it is mine. Guys in the room, if you want to chime in with some of your favorites, I happen to love Thanksgiving food. I love stuffing. Obviously the turkey, cranberry. You know what I like to do the next day with my leftovers? I like to make the open face sandwich, right? Put it on a roll, put the turkey on top, put that stuffing, put a little gravy on. So yeah, it's a whole thing. And then I consider the sweet potato like dessert. Sweet potato casserole, that's like dessert for me. Put some brown sugar on top of that bad boy. Mashed potatoes. I mean, bring it all.
You're salivating out of the mouth right
now. There's a lot of good things to be eaten tomorrow. So we're gonna check that out. Brent says the Dolphin game. Yes, the Dallas game with of course Leon Lett. Who could forget that, right? Dolphins won that game in Dallas in the snow, 16-14, thanks to Leon Lett touching a blocked field goal attempt by Pete Stoyanovich. He touched it, gave the Dolphins the ball back, and then Stoyanovich correctly was able to put that through on his second attempt, and the Dolphins were able to get the miracle in Dallas victory on Thanksgiving. So thanks, Brent, for bringing that up. That's awesome.
Definitely. So no, it's on the eve of Thanksgiving, all through the house.
Yes. Well, that's Christmas, but you can do it for this
too. The Dolphins win it through the snow and through the ice.
Yes.
No. So
and the Lambeau leap. We got to see Tyreek do a Lambeau leap tomorrow night. That would be awesome. If one guy on the team is going to go for it, it's Tyreek. So hopefully two on him connect on a bomb. Tyreek sees an open window where he wants to jump into the stands and mix in with the Packer fans, and that would be awesome. They'll probably throw him back out, but come on.
Ernest be laughing here. Look what he just said.
Is that Dana? What does Dana say here? Oh, we are. We got our tan on. Come on.
It's
the lighting, but whatever.
No, we really do look. I mean, you're Cuban American, and I am Italian American.
I'm American of Cuban descent.
And if you were to see my grandmother,
what's up, John? What's going on, my man?
If you were to see my grandmother,
Vin's up indeed, bro.
John, I think John's birthday was the other day. I think I remember seeing them on social media. If it was, happy early birthday. And if not, happy early birthday to whenever it was. But I think it was your birthday the other day.
Yeah, you were saying your grandmother. Sorry.
They say we're dark if they were to see my grandmother.
Yeah, your grandmother looks like a Jersey Shore tanner. I'm not sure if she's in the room or not, but she does. You think we're tan, Dana? Wait till you see her.
Yeah, naturally she's super, super dark.
And Brent says, let's see Tyreek go for the Lambeau leap and then put that bad boy on the elevator. Put it on the elevator.
Mine is Jeffers. Never mind.
Okay. Sorry, wrong John. But
I thought it was your birthday.
We'll remember it, so we'll celebrate it come July.
But your birthday's on Friday.
My birthday is on Friday. So. And all I want, just like for Christmas, all I want is a Dolphin win. All I want for my birthday is a Dolphins win tomorrow night. So they can go a long way for helping us out. Helping me out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's what we got. So
and look, there's so much going on at this time of the year. You mentioned the NFL and college football are reaching its climax. I mean, people are right now just on the edge of the seat off every game, every play, it seems like. So that's awesome. And then you got college basketball, too.
Check, please. I don't want to talk about it.
Well, that's because your team's whatever. But her St. Johnny's, Red Storm, or what do they call these days?
Redmen.
The Redmen.
Say it as
they're struggling a little bit.
They're ranked 22.
Season.
But then UConn is too, so it's always bittersweet.
UConn had 2 losses in the Maui Invitational. That's pretty cool. But no, you got all these great college matchups going on to start the year. They call it Feast Week and Thanksgiving when you had the Maui Invitational, the Battle for Atlantis. I saw that there was a tournament in even Fort Myers right up the road across the street from us.
And Estero.
Yeah, Estero's got Michigan playing against, I don't know who they're playing tonight, but all these major programs are playing all over the country in these tournaments, and I love it. I'm here for it. So, great time of the year.
Jacob makes a good point. People are saying the season begins tomorrow, and Lou seems like he's taking more of like a back seat, like not a back seat, but you're like, it's non-conference. I'm with you, Jacob. Like this is like, it's a must win. At this point, every game is must win. The microscope's under us, the microscope's under Tua, the microscope's under our defense. Like, I agree. Season starts tomorrow. Whatever's happened the first X amount of games, let bygones be bygones. I'm with you there.
Yeah. And again, I was maybe a little bit too nonchalant for that. And I don't mean it like, hey, we can lose tomorrow and I'm going to feel good about it. No, I'm even wearing my Daytona 500 shirt because I want to get back to 500. I mean, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I got a haircut too. I said to myself, I'm not cutting my beard or getting a haircut until we are at 500 or above. So hopefully the Dolphins can, help me out with that because I desperately need to see my barber.
I wasn't saying that. I got my haircut yesterday.
But it is a must win. The reason why I said is because it's not a conference game. However, it's a big game on prime time against a good team, and we got to prove we got to beat these teams. We got to prove we could do it. So here's hoping the Dolphins could take care of business tomorrow, and we could be celebrating a win and having a victory Friday.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, guys. Well, it has been fun. We know that Lou mentioned at the beginning of the show that today is nationally the biggest drinking day of the year. So for those who are enjoying a nice beverage, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes.
And
I mentioned this last year as well. Today is actually the biggest drinking day of the year. Oh, I'm sorry. I was focusing over here.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
guys, you heard it. And this goes to prove my point that men don't listen.
I was reading for the.
No. I can't wait till people chime in.
Wow. Sorry. Well, it is. So if you're having a drink, enjoy it.
Someone called us that I just said Lou started the biggest drinking day, and you totally disregarded what I said.
Sorry.
And then you just jumped back.
I apologize.
I have been. Men don't
but
listen.
Tell them why. Tell them why it's a biggest.
No, go ahead.
No, tell them. Go ahead. Why?
No, you were continuing with your story. Go continue with part 2.
Well, they say it's the biggest drinking day of the year, more than New Year's Eve, which is what I would always thought it was. But they say it is because a lot of, in-laws and family members come in to town, or you visited them, and it's a little uncomfortable, maybe, or to the crazy uncle. Which, by the way, I'm the crazy uncle in my family. I'm the cool crazy uncle. So, but yeah, sometimes dealing with your extended family, let's say, is a little bit
extended.
Yeah, it's a little bit anxiety, anxious moments there, and so people need to relax, kick back, and drink a couple.
We were watching the news the other day, and before we let you guys go, they said something that was really, really interesting. That I gotta wait till I have your attention because we know you're not listening.
Yes, no, I'm listening. Sorry. All right. Well, enjoy one when you get off.
Okay, so they said something very interesting in the news this year about this year's Thanksgiving. That not a lot of people, but a lot of people are actually choosing not to do Thanksgiving with their families.
Oh boy.
I'm just going to say it because that there's so much political uproars and that so many families are divided that they are literally either telling people there will be no political talks at this table, or people are like avoided because they know their aunts or their so-and-so is totally different. And so that's very interesting.
Yeah. And I could see that. There's no problem. You could say that. You could, hey, look, you invite whoever you're going to invite within your family. Say, listen, we're just not going to talk politics. And that's cool. But there are idiots out there, and I'm going to say it. And if you're amongst the room and you did this, whatever, I don't want to call you directly an idiot, but I think it's foolish that you're going to, not talk to a family member over who you voted for, you do whatever. That's just ridiculous. I mean, just put all that aside and, break bread with your family and talk about other things. I mean, if that's what's driving you, or that's what's making you sit down or not sit down at a table with your family,
Yeah.
you got bigger issues. I'm sorry to say.
But it was just interesting that the news had this full story and these people are going on and saying,
That's so silly.
I can't because my uncle's going to do this.
That's so silly. Look, we have, I know it's Thanksgiving Eve, so not a lot of people that are usually in the room are here tonight, but we have people in the room who are Jets fans, Bills fans, and Patriots fans.
And Eagles fans.
I could not agree with those lines of thinking more, but we're friendly with them. Some are great friends to us.
Some are related to them.
Some are related to you, yes.
Yeah.
And so what, you're going to engage with them because of who they follow? I mean, I think it's silly.
I disagree with you does not mean I hate you. That's the best
exactly.
way. Yeah.
Thank you. You are, and not Thanksgiving, which is a holiday built to bring your family together. I think more than Christmas, because not everybody celebrates Christmas, but everybody can get behind Thanksgiving and being grateful and thankful, for so many things and all the blessings that they receive. And that's a time to celebrate with your family. So don't let that, poison your mindset. I think that's really sad that people do that.
No, we don't have that problem in our family.
Yeah, not at all.
No, if anything, it's very fun to talk about.
Yeah. Exactly.
Anyways, guys, with that, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, from our household.
I have bobby pins in my head. Go ahead.
Yeah, from our household to your household, we wish you a joyous celebration tomorrow. A wonderful Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's off. Hopefully everybody's off on Friday as well. You're off Thursday, Friday, right? I'm always off.
Of course I am.
Thankfully, my job, we don't have to work Thursday and Friday, so hopefully you guys are off. You can eat some great food tomorrow, hang out with your family, and watch football, especially tomorrow night at 8:20 when our Dolphins take the field against those Packers. All
right, guys. Well, I know Lou always likes to.
Yeah, hit the music.
I know he loves to.
Hit the music. Wait, and
that's one you like.
No, I like it all. Not that one. There you go. That's my jam right there. And speaking of jam, cranberry. I love cranberry. On my turkey, a little gravy there as well, a little mashed potatoes. Give me some dinner rolls. I'm getting hungry thinking about this.
You're going to eat 10 pounds.
I like those leftovers. It's going to be a couple days that I'm going to be carving into those leftovers.
RJ is representing at Lambeau.
Nice.
Stay warm.
Stay warm out there and get that dove, RJ. Bring that dove back. Get that dove, kid. Come on.
We would lend you our clothes from Kansas City, but
yeah. We've been there, done that. We'll do it again, though. We'll do it again. And John works Friday. Oh, John, you gotta talk to you. If the Dolphins win, too, you got to take that Friday off to celebrate. I'll write you a note. Just text me the info, get it out to your boss. Take Friday off. It's on me.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving. And go Dolphins.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.